Welcome to this explainer. So often businesses look at software development as just a pure expense, a line item on a spreadsheet that completely drains the budget. But today, we're flipping that script entirely. We're going to explore exactly why building custom software is actually one of the most powerful ways to generate long-term ROI. We really want to move our mindset from seeing software as just this mere expense to understanding it as a vital, strategic asset for your business.
But hey, let's not sugarcoat it. Depending on the scope of the project, you're looking at a massive upfront investment of $10,000 to $500,000. Yeah, you heard that right. When you decide to build a custom solution, it is a serious financial commitment. And honestly, it's the exact reason why so many decision makers hesitate and immediately opt for what just seems like a cheaper generic alternative.
Which naturally brings us to the elephant in the room. Is custom software actually worth that massive price tag? I mean, if you're putting that much capital on the line, you absolutely need to know there's a light at the end of the tunnel. You need to know this isn't just some endless money pit, but a literal launchpad for your business. So, that's exactly what we're going to decode today, by looking at the hard data. To systematically dismantle this whole topic, here's our agenda. We'll start with the upfront cost reality, then compare custom versus off-the-shelf solutions. After that, we'll uncover the 4 pillars of software ROI, discuss navigating the hidden risks, and finally look at the Rasta Infotech advantage.
All right, let's dive right into Section 1, the upfront cost reality and framing this investment.
So the crucial point here is that the initial sticker shock of a custom build often blinds businesses to a much more dangerous financial trap, because the true cost is actually hidden in off-the-shelf workarounds. Just imagine your team spending hours every single Friday manually copying data between completely incompatible systems, or cobbling together these insanely complex spreadsheet workarounds just to get their jobs done, all because the generic software doesn't fit perfectly. Over time, that compounding cost of lost productivity and sheer inefficiency, it can massively outweigh whatever initial savings you got from buying off the shelf.
Moving right along to Section 2, custom versus off-the-shelf. Let's really break down these differences.
Let's look at the long-term trade-offs between the two. Take scalability, for example. Custom software gives you unlimited, totally flexible growth. You aren't restricted by some vendor who might suddenly just decide to change their pricing tiers the minute your business takes off. And then look at ownership. With custom builds, you have full, 100% control over your code and your data. Off the shelf, the vendor holds the keys. When it comes to compliance, custom solutions are tailored to your very specific industry regulations, whereas off-the-shelf just offers this sort of generic compliance that might actually leave you exposed. Ultimately, yes, custom has a higher upfront cost, but it yields a far better ROI compared to those lower upfront but heavily compounding long-term costs of generic software.
It really all comes down to a core philosophical difference. Ask yourself, are you building for your workflows, or are you adapting to a tool? Off-the-shelf software literally forces your business to change its proven, successful operations just to fit the limitations of a computer program. Custom software, on the other hand, molds perfectly to your business. It enhances what you already do well and completely eliminates the friction and those costly workarounds we were just talking about.
Okay, Section 3, the 4 pillars of software ROI, or essentially how this stuff actually pays for itself.
There are 4 main reasons why custom software flips the script from being a sunk cost to a compounding investment. Think of these as the 4 pillars. First up, a tailored fit. This means the software is designed around your exact workflows, totally eliminating inefficiencies. Second is scalability. This ensures that as your business expands, your software expands right alongside it, seamlessly without any vendor restrictions holding you back. Third, ownership. This means you own the roadmap. You can modify the system whenever the market demands it, no waiting around for a vendor's update cycle. And fourth, security and compliance. Purpose-built systems are absolutely critical for meeting strict industry regulations, and this is a total game changer if you operate in highly regulated sectors like healthcare or fintech.
And here is the financial climax of it all. Despite those massive upfront costs we looked at right at the beginning, custom builds often deliver a complete payback within just 24 to 36 months. Think about that for a second. In just 2 to 3 years, the efficiency gains, the totally eliminated licensing fees, and the optimized workflows have literally paid for the software itself. And after that 36-month mark, everything the software does to boost productivity is just pure ROI.
Now for Section 4, navigating the hidden risks. Let's look at what to watch out for.
We definitely can't just look at the upside here. We have to impartially examine the real risks involved in these projects, because they absolutely do exist.
First, as we established, the upfront investment is incredibly significant. Second, the implementation challenges are very real. Building custom software requires incredibly strong project management and deep technical expertise just to keep things on track and on budget. And the third major risk is vendor dependency. If you end up choosing the wrong development partner, you risk severe delays, technical debt, and a final product that is totally misaligned with your original vision. The partner you choose literally makes or breaks your ROI.
Which brings us to our final section, Section 5, the Rasta Infotech advantage, and how to go about maximizing your ROI.
So, how exactly do you mitigate those severe implementation and misalignment risks we just talked about? Well, let's take Rasta Infotech as a prime example of an expert partner. They utilize a highly integrated CCC framework. This means every blog, platform, and application they build is intensely optimized to be clear, concise, and compelling. This framework isn't just about writing pretty code, right? It's about ensuring the end user is actually engaged with the software, which is what drives adoption and ultimately your returns. Consider this specific, honestly staggering metric: 35+ minutes. Rasta Infotech leverages SEO-driven digital strategies with a heavy focus on human retention time. By utilizing that CCC framework, their blogs and tailored solutions are specifically designed to keep readers and users engaged for 35 minutes or more. In today's digital age, holding human attention for over half an hour is a monumental achievement. It massively boosts your brand authority and user engagement across the board.
And to actually achieve those kinds of retention metrics, Rasta Infotech brings over 20 years of software engineering expertise to the table. They don't just build isolated standalone apps. They specialize in seamless connectivity and integration across massive enterprise tools like SAP, CRM, and ERP systems. It's exactly this level of technical depth that allows them to deliver tailored builds, giving your clients a totally unique, razor-sharp competitive edge in really crowded markets.
It really all boils down to this quote right here. Custom software development is not just a technical decision, it's a strategic investment in scalability, compliance, and customer experience. Once you realize that, it stops being about lines of code and starts being about the future agility and safety of your entire business. Which leads me to this final question for you to really think about today. Take a hard look at your current tech stack. Are you renting your software, endlessly adapting to its limitations and paying perpetual fees? Or are you investing in your future with a custom solution that grows perfectly in sync with your business? It is a huge question, and the answer might just determine the long-term ROI of your company. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.